What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the other P-Town garage. So basically what happened is I pretty much gave up on the whole YouTube thing, and I was like, alright, fuck it, I'll just show you guys the finished project. And I also got busy, and I also got bored, and I don't even have school today, because it's like the day before Easter or something like that. No, it's a Friday before Easter, because Easter's always Sunday, yeah. And so I don't have to do my online school. Fuck. But there's a lot that I need to catch you guys up on with the Jeep. So, I'll see you in the garage. Okay, I'm out here in the barn now, and I'm basically just gonna walk you around, show you what's going on with the Jeep, and I'm gonna keep throwing in clips from like a few days ago, and yeah, I mean, just here we go.
First thing I want to start off with is here's the Jeep. This is the finished project. We ended up putting drop shackles in the back here. The new shackles. These are from Rough Country. These are the drop shackle, or no, these aren't drop shackles. These are the lift shackles. So this is 1 inch higher, and this is 2 inch higher. So we're gonna be at an equal 3 inches in the front and 3 inches in the back. And that ended up making it a 6-inch lift in the back and about a 4-inch lift in the front, even though we got a 3-inch lift kit. Makes sense, right? As you may notice, the back end is 2 inches higher than the front end. This measures out to 36 inches and this measures out to 38. So what we did was we ended up putting bricks back here, and that's making it a little more level. It's probably like a 1/4 of an inch higher in the back now, which is a lot better than 2 inches. We ended up putting wheel spacers on because it was there was less than pinky space in between the leaves and the rear wheels. So I don't know if you guys can see the spacers. You can't, but I'll just insert clip. And so once we got everything on there, here, I'll tell you guys the story of what happened. So, I'm pretty sure I look like Ghost or Jesus or something right now, but that's okay. So basically what happened was, when we just finished up the lift in the back, or finished up the whole lift, we took it around the yard a couple times, and we flexed it out on top of my burn pile in my backyard, and we heard the springs start to settle, which was good. That's what we were hoping for.
Hey, maybe that was my spring settling.
Because hopefully once the springs actually start to settle, it won't be so high in the back. And also, when we had it flexed out, we looked at the brake line and we were like, oh, that's not good. We need to do something about that. So we got a longer brake line. And that's when we realized that the wheels were way too close to the leaves anyhow. And then once we got the spacers and the new brake line on,
we bled the brakes, and now like what we're looking for is some longer studs, because in the back the studs, like, we only get about 6 threads onto the spacers because of how short the studs are. So we're gonna try and find some longer ones and then put those back there, because I don't want my wheels falling off while I'm going down the road. And speaking of going down the road, when we finally got all this done, we took her down the road. We realized that the steering was way too loose, like, and it wanted to like pull us off the road. So we turned around, we came back, and then we found out that we needed to tighten everything up pretty much, or well, everything with the bushing up. So we tightened up the sway bar end links, and we tightened up the shocks. And while we were tightening up the end links, we found out that the bottom bushing on the end link, there's supposed to be a washer there, but there was no washer there, and that's on the people before us, because we didn't touch that.
Here's what I was talking about. Like, here's the sway bar end link, and there's the bushings. That bottom washer that's on there wasn't on there, and that was messing up our steering and everything. Like, that bushing was pushed down to like here, and like we had to get that on there, and then that really helped the steering a lot.
We put a washer on there, and then we tightened everything up. We took it back down the road, and it was a lot better. Basically all we need now is we're probably going to get an alignment, and there is this noise when you turn the steering wheel. We thought it was something with the U-joints, which would have been really, really bad and annoying, and I don't want to mess with the U-joints at all. But it turned out that there's, or well, this is what I think it is. There's this little boot on the steering column.
There's the boot I'm talking about, like right there on the steering column. Here, I'll show you the noise. So, yeah, that's annoying.
And I think it's like just a little loose, like the seal broke on it or something. So now when you turn the wheel a little bit, it makes a squeaking noise. So I'm just glad it wasn't the U joints, and yeah. And we also need a new clock spring still, so that my airbag works, and my horn works, and my cruise control works, and everything in the steering wheel works. And I also need to figure out what's going on with the radio, because it still doesn't light up. And my check engine light's on now, so I gotta figure out what that is. But yeah, we're just mainly focused on doing the body right now. We're probably gonna end up painting the hood, painting the roof. We're gonna paint like a little bit of it black. Like, here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So from this from this trim, not trim, but like from this body line down is going to be painted black. And we also need to figure out what we're doing with the rockers. I think my buddy did this with his. He just cut his rockers right there all the way across and sprayed it down with some bed liner. So I think I might do that. And we also need to work on this door rust, sand it down. I'm probably gonna Bondo that right there, because that's really bad. And then we're gonna paint over that anyhow. A spot that I'm really don't want to mess with is this right here in the door. Like, that's a hole. Like, that is not good. So body work is gonna be our next objective. Another piece that I really don't want to mess with is up here. On the roof. I don't know what happened there. Here is what, like, we started painting the front end. This is the piece of the frame that's going to go behind the bumper. Here's the bumper. We welded these end caps on. We welded these front pieces on, and now we have to widen. We have to widen the holes to make so it can fit there, and we're gonna paint this black, and then we're working on the body right now still. So the quarter panels, we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do with these. Our idea right now is just to cut the whole thing out pretty much and just stick some old license plates up in there, kind of like that, and you know, like bend it up and rivet it on there. Yeah. And then paint it black or something like that. And another thing that blew my mind, where's the lights going on under here is, so look at my exhaust. All right, follow it up. There's a big ass dent right in my header tube. Well, technically it's not the header. It's like just after the header. I'm not sure what that piece is called. But I don't understand how you could have possibly gotten a dent there. Because, I mean, you got a drive shaft in the way. You got all of this up under here that you could have hit. The whole axle is pretty much in the way. The control arms are in the way. So transmission is in the way. And, yeah. So basically, I don't understand how that could have possibly happened. But we're going to have to do something about that. And my dad wants to get a performance exhaust on here. And I'm like, yeah, you're not paying for this, bud. Of course you want to get a performance exhaust. Like, and yeah, it's just not fun. It's really not fun. So, well, I was gonna title this something like, the finished project, or the final episode of The Lift, or something like that. But, I don't know. I might just title this Everything That's Wrong with My XJ. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Sean with the other P-Town Garage, and see you next time.
Sitting like that, like that's where a 5 is. Now
Dude, got the flex. Got that flex.